When it comes to women, less is always more. Less texting, less effort, less compliments, less attachment to the outcome. All of these things increase their attraction because there can only be one person with the power. There's not equality in a relationship. Somebody's always liking one person more than the other. And it has to be you liking her less for her to actually pursue and chase you. Because if you like her more than she likes you, then she's going to think she's better than you and she loses all attraction. Want to learn how to do this? Click the link in bio.
What most men don't realize is that trying too hard actually pushes women away. They think constant texting, overplanning, and jumping through hoops makes them attractive, but it does the opposite. Today, I'm going to show you why less effort often makes you more magnetic, and how subtle moves can pull her in faster than any grand gesture ever could. I'm welcoming you to this space where we break down modern dating from the female perspective, so you can see what really works and what's just noise. Throughout this video, I'll play real examples and clips, and I'll dissect them for you so you understand the psychology behind her reactions. You'll see that attraction isn't about overcommitting or being always available. It's about being calm, confident, and a little mysterious, which naturally makes her chase your attention instead of the other way around. By the end of this, you'll understand how to pull back strategically, keep her intrigued, and create tension in the right way, all while staying authentic and grounded. So stick with me, because the rules you thought you knew about attracting women, they're about to change. 1. Stop chasing, start living. Stop chasing, start living. This is where most men completely miss the mark. They think texting her all day, replying instantly, and rearranging their lives around her schedule will make them irresistible. The truth? It makes you predictable, needy, and boring. Women are naturally drawn to men who have their own world, who are interesting, confident, and a little unpredictable. When you're constantly available, there's no tension, no challenge, and frankly, no real attraction. Think about it from her perspective. She notices the guys who have a full life, hobbies, ambitions, and social circles outside of her. Those are the men who command respect and curiosity. You don't have to over-explain your moves or justify why you're not texting back immediately. Being calm, living your life, and showing that you have priorities makes her want to be part of that energy instead of being the center of yours. This doesn't mean you ignore her completely or play games just for the sake of it. It means you set boundaries naturally, and your attention becomes something she values because it isn't constant. You pull back slightly, focus on your goals, and let her see glimpses of your world, your adventures, your achievements, your confidence. That subtle pull creates intrigue, and intrigue creates attraction. Throughout this video, I'll show you clips where men make this mistake and clips where they get it right. You'll see the difference in her reactions almost instantly. Stop chasing her energy and start living your own life, because when you do, she will chase yours without you having to beg, over-explain, or overcommit. That's the power of less effort done correctly, and it's the first secret to making her genuinely interested.
You need to be more mysterious when you're talking to women. Our natural energy as men is mystery. Like if somebody came up to you and asked you how much money is in your bank account right now, would you tell them? Even if they kept asking you over and over again. Like if somebody came up to you and said like, yo, where your mom stay? Like where your parents stay at? Like what's the address? Or if somebody asked you what's your address, would you tell them? No, you know in your head, in your brain, that there's certain things that we keep to ourselves. And so why is it that when this woman who's a stranger to you, who you just met, you feel like you have to tell her absolutely everything? It goes against your natural essence, and that's why women get less attracted to you when you do.
2. Mystery beats oversharing. Mystery beats oversharing. Most men think that telling her everything about themselves, every thought that pops into their head, or every detail of their day makes them more attractive. It doesn't. What it does is remove tension, curiosity, and the little spark that keeps a woman intrigued. When you overshare, you give her all the pieces of the puzzle up front, and suddenly there's nothing left for her to discover. Attraction thrives on curiosity. Think about it. Women naturally pay attention to what's just out of reach, what's unpredictable, or what they can't fully figure out. When you reveal too much too soon, you make yourself ordinary. On the other hand, when you stay a little reserved, When you allow her to piece together who you are gradually, it creates a pull that texts, compliments, or over-explaining could never achieve. Mystery is magnetic because it signals confidence and independence. It says, "I have a full life, and I don't need your approval to enjoy it." This doesn't mean you become secretive or cold. It's about timing, pacing, and intention. Share enough to connect, but not so much that the excitement disappears. Drop hints about your life, your ambitions, your humor, and let her imagination do the rest. When she starts filling in the blanks, she invests mentally and emotionally, which deepens attraction without you doing anything extra. Throughout this video, I'll show you examples of men who reveal everything too quickly, and men who keep a playful, intriguing energy. You'll see the difference in how women respond. By mastering the art of mystery, you learn to educate her curiosity, build anticipation, and make your presence feel rare and valuable, all while staying confident, relaxed, and completely authentic. 3. Scarcity builds value.
The guy who is the least available is the man she ends up sticking with. The reason why is because a man who's too overly available, a man who's easy to access, is a man who 9 times out of 10 lacks a backbone. He lacks purpose. He lacks discipline. Why? Because he's always at the girl's beck and call. He's always chasing the woman, right? That's not very attractive because the woman cannot be the center of your universe. She can't. Because you're not working towards getting resource. You're not working towards self-development. That doesn't happen from chasing a woman. But when you're a man who is of low access, a man who is of low attention giving, right? You become more attractive. Why? Because your presence now holds weight. It holds weight because it's not as common. And not only that, the reason why your presence also is cherished more is because the woman thinks that you're doing greater and bigger things.
Scarcity builds value. Many men don't realize this, but being too available actually lowers your worth in her eyes. When you're constantly there, responding immediately, rearranging your schedule, and always agreeing to her plans, it sends an unconscious message. I'm easy to get, and you can have me anytime. That might feel like it shows interest, but what it actually does is remove desire. Desire thrives on tension, and tension comes from a little distance. Think of it like this. We naturally want what we can't always have. When something is scarce, it becomes precious. When you pull back strategically, focus on your life, and limit how available you are, she starts to notice the value of your attention. She notices when you're missing, when you have other priorities, and suddenly your presence feels rarer and more meaningful. That rarity triggers curiosity, excitement, and attraction in ways constant attention never could. Scarcity doesn't mean ignoring her completely or playing childish games. It's about creating space while staying confident and grounded. It's choosing when to engage, how to respond, and what energy you bring to her attention. When done correctly, she'll start investing in you emotionally and mentally, wondering what you're up to, and craving the moments she does get with you. Throughout this video, I'll show you real-life examples of men who overextend themselves and the women who lose interest as a result. You'll also see men who master scarcity, how their limited attention makes women more invested, more curious, and more attracted. By understanding the power of scarcity, you learn to create desire without manipulation, keep her intrigued, and build genuine attraction by being a man with his own life and priorities. 4. Confidence over constant contact. Confidence over constant contact. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking that being constantly available proves their worth. Texting her every day, checking in, or over-explaining your intentions might feel like effort, but it actually signals insecurity. Women aren't drawn to neediness. They're drawn to calm, self-assured energy. Confidence isn't loud or desperate. It's steady, relaxed, and non-reactive. When you focus on your own life, goals, and happiness first, that energy shows. It's magnetic. She notices that your time isn't consumed by her alone, and that your attention is something she earns rather than something freely given. That subtle shift changes the dynamic completely. Instead of chasing her attention, she starts valuing yours. Confidence is visible in how you carry yourself, how you respond when she doesn't text back immediately, and in the ease with which you live your life outside of her presence. Being confident doesn't mean ignoring her. It means engaging in a way that keeps your energy intact. It's responding thoughtfully, showing interest without overinvesting, and letting her see that your happiness doesn't hinge on her approval. Women are naturally drawn to men who are grounded, comfortable in their own skin, and consistent in their energy. That's why men who appear calm and self-assured attract more attention than those who constantly reach out or over-explain themselves. Throughout this video, I'll show you examples where men over-text, overreact, or over-apologize. And you'll see her interest fade. Then, you'll see men who embody confidence, respond with measured energy, and maintain their lives outside of her, instantly drawing her in. Mastering this balance isn't about arrogance. It's about showing that your world is complete without her, which makes her want to be part of it. 5. Actions speak louder than texts. Actions speak louder than texts. Let's take Alex, for example, a guy I know who's been dating someone seriously for a few months. At first, he thought constantly messaging his girlfriend, reacting instantly to every story she posted, and always planning dates would show how invested he was. But instead of drawing her closer, he noticed she started taking his attention for granted, expecting it as a given. That's the problem. Effort without impact loses its value. Alex realized he needed to shift his focus. He began prioritizing his own life, hitting the gym consistently, pursuing hobbies he loved, and spending time with friends. Instead of sending endless texts, he started showing her attention in moments that mattered. A spontaneous coffee, planning a fun activity, or even just being fully present when they were together. She noticed the change immediately. His energy felt more grounded, and his time became something she genuinely valued. This is the difference between being performative and being authentic. Texts, likes, and emojis are cheap and easy. They don't create real attraction. Women respond to tangible, meaningful actions that show confidence, intention, and consistency. When Alex acted thoughtfully and deliberately, instead of over-explaining or over-messaging, his girlfriend became more engaged and appreciative of his presence. It's not about being distant or ignoring her. It's about being intentional. Show her your world through your actions, and let your presence speak for itself. When a man like Alex focuses on quality over quantity, it naturally draws a woman in, creates respect, and strengthens the connection. Less effort doesn't mean less attention. It means strategic attention that carries weight. Less effort isn't about playing games or ignoring her. It's about being intentional, confident, and living your own life. Stop chasing, embrace a little mystery, and let scarcity and thoughtful actions do the work for you. When you focus on yourself, she notices, she values your presence, and attraction grows naturally. Confidence over constant contact signals that you're grounded, not needy. By showing her who you are through subtle actions rather than endless messages, you create desire, respect, and curiosity. Mastering this balance is the key to modern dating success. Less effort, more results, and a woman genuinely drawn to you.